let's take a second look at coloring with the decorative butterfly masks with the hot foil system. So this is one, if you watch a previous video, you'll see me do this one with these colors in the gold. The one I have down right now is like a very vanilla with silver hot foil. And I'm just going to do a different color scheme and see the differences between the two and kind of play with the colors. So this is the first one I did. There is a separate video on how to create this one. We're going to create this one here, the one that we're doing right now, exactly the same way. But I wanted to do it one more time with the different color scheme and different looks. So if you have not watched the other video just yet, all I've done is I've taken a scrap piece of paper and I've just used washi tape to tape it down so it stays still. Then I've taken my card base and I've also washi taped it down so it stays still, it doesn't move. If you want to just hold it go for it. That's not my preference because, I mean, if it moves, it's going to be harder to line up afterwards. So for me, it's just easier to tape that part down. And then what I've done is for the decorative mask, so this is 1 of 4. We're going to use 3 out of 4 today. And the reason we're not using the 4th one is the 4th one adds in these bodies, the butterfly bodies. And in this case, my bodies are silver. So we don't need to add another color in there. Okay, that's already done with the hot foil system. But you can use the butterfly masks on their own. And as in the other video, this is what they look like in the other colors with just the masks. Okay, so no hot foil. But in these ones you see, you need the body or there's nothing there. So the 4th mask is just the bodies and little antennas. So you do need to use that, and you can add whichever color you want to do with that. So that's the different looks. So what I've done here is to make sure that these line up with my hot foil butterflies. I've just lined it up, and then what I did is I took a pencil and I traced around it, and I'm just going to line it up there. There's a little notch in the top there. It's a little bit harder to see when it's laying down, but you can see the little notch there. There's also these are numbered, so you can see that this one is number 1, and they are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So you're just going to do them in order. So let's start by lining this up. There we go. Okay, my first color I'm going to start with is boho blue. And I've seen, most videos I've seen, actually all of the videos I've seen so far, use the blending brushes. I have blending brushes somewhere, but I don't know where they are. And I could not find them. I looked for a really long time and could not find them. So I'm using these little daubers, which actually I prefer these opposed to the blending brushes anyway. But it's going to be whatever your personal preference is or whatever you have, right? Use what you have. There's no point in, if you don't have it, you don't break the bank to go buy it. Use what you have. So in this case, I'm using the little, these little sponge daubers, which work just as well, okay? And I prefer opposed to the blending brushes. So I'm just going to fill these in. You can make them as light as or dark as you want. If you want them darker, you just go over them multiple times or press a little bit harder. I don't need this one super, super dark. So I've just made sure I've got color. The really nice thing about these masks is the holes are already cut out for you, so you don't have to worry about going or putting ink where it's not supposed to be. Everything else is blocked out, so you're only going to be able to put it in the right spots. Okay, so let's carefully peel this off. Now this you can take a wipe, just easily wipe it off. We're going to do that at the end. Okay, so I'm just going to tilt the camera down here so we can kind of see. You're not going to get the greatest look yet just because the lighting's really bad. New video system is coming, hopefully by the weekend. But that you can see that there's some color in there. So we're just going to set this dauber aside. My next color I'm going to use is a smoky slate. I'm just going to open that up. Before I do that, I need to add my second mask. So you'll see this says number 2. So I'm just going to line this up in the square that I've traced around. Should fit. Make sure your notch is in the right spot there. The notch also helps to indicate which way it goes. The number always goes in the left-hand corner as well. But if you're not sure, the notch will help figure that out for you. Okay, so it makes it super easy. You don't have to put a lot of thought into where each one goes. And we're just going to do some smoky slates. Now, if you prefer, you can tape down the mat itself too, or the mask itself. I find I can hold it, and I only tape down the bottom pieces. But whatever you feel like, whatever your comfort level is, whichever is going to get you the best results for this, go for it. There's no rules when it comes to crafting. Which is maybe why I like crafting, because I'm not so good at rules. So I like to push the rules. Alright, so we're almost done. We're just doing our last butterfly here. And again, you can make it as light or as dark as you want to fill them in. Okay, I'm just going to take that mask off. Close up this ink. And move that dauber. Okay, so let's just do a quick tip. Okay, so looking pretty good so far. Okay. Whichever color you're going to do first should be your lightest. You should always work lightest to darkest, because you're not going to be able to, if you did it the other way, you're not going to be able to see it. Okay. In this case, I know the first blue was a little bit darker than I was expecting it to be. So the gray didn't necessarily go over in all the spots, but that's okay. So this one here is Misty Moonlight. I'm going to grab my third mask. You can see it has a number 3. We're going to line it up. Make sure it's in there. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to hold it down and let's start inking. Okay, so this one I do want darker, so I'm just going to add a little bit more color, a little bit more pressure. Maybe go over it a couple times. You don't have to go a certain way. Whichever fills in the ink the way you want it to look is what matters on that. So going in a little circle helps. Going left to right, right to left, up and down. Find a technique that works for you. And go for it. If you try a technique and it doesn't work, that's okay. Just try it again. Try a different one. Oh, my mask moved a little bit there, so I'm just going to quickly put it back in place. Okay, so let's put that away. Close up this ink. Take off this mask. Again, we'll clean them later. I do want to show you the fourth mask. So this is what it looks like. This is your, like I said, your little butterfly bodies. In this case, we don't need the bodies, and you'll see why in a second. The silver hot foil is the bodies, so it's not necessary in this case. But this is the fourth one. You can see there's a little 4. Should you want to do just the masks, okay? So let's see if we can peel this off. Okay, so here's our final look, and I think that is stunning. So let's take a little closer look here. Yeah, that's beautiful. Absolutely pretty. Yeah, all of them are very pretty. Alright, so that's the look with the silver. So let's do a side-by-side, because we do have the silver foil and the gold foil. Okay, so 2 very different looks. You have very bold colors that pop, and you have more different colors of butterflies, but I think it ties in very pretty with the silver. I think it really accents it nicely. Now there is a fourth color of the hot foil. There is a pink. I don't think I'll be coloring in the pink ones using the mask because I did do it on black cardstock. So there's the 3 different looks. This one's not really going to be colored. There's no color that's, maybe a craft white that would go in there, which I don't think I'm going to do. So in this case, these ones are going to stay this way. And then you have these two. So I hope you like it.